Arsenal are one step away from history. Can they do it without Saka and Odegaard? Let us be honest with each other for a second. Wednesday night at the Emirates is not just another football match. It is not just another Champions League game. This is the moment Arsenal fans have been dreaming about since Mikel Arteta first walked through those doors and started rebuilding this club from the ground up. One win. That is all that stands between Arsenal and back-to-back UEFA Champions League semi-finals. But here is the thing that is making every Gooner's heart beat a little faster right now. Two of the biggest names on the Arsenal team sheet are carrying question marks going into this game. Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, both listed as questionable, both massive doubts. So the question every single one of us is asking tonight is simple. Can Arsenal get the job done without their two best players? Let us break it all down. The injuries, the history, what Guardiola said about the Premier League clash next weekend, what is going on with Odegaard at the club level, and why Cole Palmer is someone Arsenal fans need to be worried about when they face City soon. We have got a lot to cover, so grab a seat and let us talk football. The injury news that has Gooners worried. Before we even talk about Sporting CP, let us deal with the elephant in the room, the injury list. Mikel Merino will not play on Wednesday night. That is confirmed. His foot injury has kept him out and he is simply not available. That is a blow on its own because Merino has been a real solid presence in midfield when he has been fit this season. Losing him hurts. But the bigger concerns are the players listed as questionable. And when you look at that list, it reads like a who's who of Arsenal's most important players. Bukayo Saka is listed with an injury and is a major doubt. Think about what that means for a second. Saka is the guy defenders fear most. He is the one who can take the ball in tight spaces, beat a man, and either score or create something from nothing. Going into a European quarter-final second leg without Saka would be a serious problem. Martin Odegaard is also listed as questionable with a muscle injury. The captain, the man who controls the tempo of Arsenal's play. The player who makes the game look easy when he is on the pitch and makes things feel chaotic when he is not. Losing Odegaard in a game like this would take away a massive chunk of Arsenal's creativity and leadership. Then there is Riccardo Calafiori, who is questionable with a knock. Jurriën Timber is also doubtful with an ankle injury. That is a lot of question marks on one side of the pitch. So let us ask this honestly. Is Arsenal deep enough to handle all of these absences and still get the job done against Sporting at home? Arsenal versus Sporting CP. What history tells us. Let us start with the good news, because there is plenty of it. Arsenal go into Wednesday's second leg at the Emirates, holding a 1-0 lead from the first leg in Lisbon. Kai Havertz scored a late winner in Portugal to give Arsenal the advantage. And when you look at the numbers, the history is almost entirely on Arsenal's side. Arsenal have progressed from 17 out of 18 European ties, where they have won the first leg away from home. That is an incredible record. It shows that when Arsenal go to a ground, win there, and come back to the Emirates, they almost always finish the job. At home in Europe this season, Arsenal have been absolutely dominant. They have won all 5 of their home Champions League games this campaign. 5 out of 5. Not one loss. Not even a draw. Pure wins at the Emirates in European football. That is the kind of form that gives you real confidence going into a night like this. Overall, in the Champions League this season, Arsenal are unbeaten. 10 wins and 1 draw from 11 games. That run tells you everything you need to know about how seriously this team has taken Europe. At the Emirates in Europe over recent years, Arsenal have lost just once in their last 23 continental home games. 17 wins and 5 draws in that run. That ground has become a fortress. On top of all that, the head-to-head record against Sporting is in Arsenal's favour. Arsenal have not lost any of their 6 previous meetings against Sporting. 3 wins and 3 draws. and Sporting have not beaten English opposition in any of their last 10 away games. 5 draws and 5 losses on the road against English clubs. There is also a bigger historical stat that works against Sporting here. Portuguese clubs have lost their last 9 Champions League quarter-finals in a row. 9 in a row. That is a brutal run for Portuguese football at this stage of the competition. So from a numbers point of view, everything points toward Arsenal going through. But football does not always follow the numbers, does it? The Sporting CP threat. Do not sleep on them. Now let us talk about the danger Sporting bring, because they are not here just to make up the numbers. Yes, they are trailing 1-0. Yes, the history is against them, but Sporting have some qualities that Arsenal cannot ignore. For starters, they have only failed to score in 1 competitive away game all season, just 1 game all campaign where they could not find the net on the road. That tells you they carry a threat wherever they play. They have also scored 14 of their 20 Champions League goals this season after half-time. That is a huge stat. It means even if Arsenal are in control at half-time, Sporting become more dangerous as the game goes on. The second half is where they come alive. Arsenal cannot afford to sit back and think the job is done at the break. The man Arsenal need to watch most is Goncalo Inacio. He scored in Sporting's famous comeback in the previous round of this competition. His last 5 goals have all come in the first half and opened the scoring. He has also scored a career-high 2 goals against Arsenal. He knows how to hurt this team. On the Sporting injury front, they will be without Luis Guilherme, who has an ankle problem. Felipe Ioannidis is questionable with a knee injury, and Nelson Santos is also doubtful. So they have their own absentee headaches to deal with. But here is a question worth thinking about. If Arsenal are missing Saka and Odegaard, do you think that gives Sporting more belief that they can turn this tie around at the Emirates? Havertz, the man Arsenal need most right now. If Saka and Odegaard do not make it, the spotlight falls even harder on Kai Havertz. And honestly, that is not a bad thing. Havertz is the man who scored the winning goal in Lisbon to give Arsenal the lead going into this second leg. He has scored in 6 of his last 8 Champions League appearances. 6 out of 8, and 2 of those goals were match winners against Sporting specifically. This man has a habit of showing up in the biggest moments. He has grown so much this season. The Havertz that sometimes drifted out of games and looked unsure of himself has been replaced by a player who runs the channels, presses with intensity, and scores crucial goals. Arteta has found the best version of Havertz, and that is a massive weapon for Arsenal when they need someone to step up. If Saka and Odegaard are out, Havertz needs to be that man again on Wednesday. The Emirates will be rocking, the fans will be loud, and Havertz tends to rise to occasions like that. Odegaard's future, is he going anywhere? With Odegaard missing yet another game with injury, it is natural that fans are asking bigger questions. What does his future look like? Is this just a bad season for fitness, or is something more going on? The truth is that Odegaard has had a really difficult time staying fit this season. He has been in and out of the team, missing big stretches, and leaving Arsenal to play without their captain and creative hub. When he has been available, the difference he makes is clear. When he is not, Arsenal look like a different team. His absence has also been felt at international level. Norway have been concerned about his fitness too, especially with this being a World Cup year. They need their captain available and in good shape for the tournament. Over previous seasons, Odegaard has been linked with moves to clubs like Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Big clubs have always admired his quality. But the good news for Arsenal fans is clear. According to reports from the Daily Mail, Arsenal have absolutely no intention of selling Odegaard this summer. He is not on the market. He is not available. The club is not entertaining offers. Arsenal see Odegaard as a central part of their long-term future. His creativity, his passing range, his ability to link play and score from midfield, all of that is irreplaceable in Arteta's system. The plan is to keep him, manage his fitness better, and make sure he is consistently available going forward. But here is the honest question. With Odegaard now missing for big chunks of the season, should Arsenal be looking for a proper like-for-like backup who can step in and keep the team's level when the captain is out? Guardiola's warning and what it means for Arsenal. While all this Champions League drama is unfolding, there is another huge game coming around the corner. Arsenal versus Manchester City in the Premier League next weekend. And Pep Guardiola has already been talking. Now, City have already beaten Arsenal twice this season. They beat them in the Premier League earlier in the campaign and then again in the Carabao Cup final. Twice in one season. That kind of record can mess with your head if you let it. But Guardiola was very careful in what he said. He made it clear that those results count for nothing when the two sides meet in the league next week. He was almost full of praise for Arsenal, pointing out that in 49 games this season, Arsenal have only lost 3 times. 3 losses from 49 games. That is a remarkable record. He also talked about how City were complete underdogs in the Carabao Cup final and that nobody in the country gave them a chance of winning that game. He said that the situation next weekend will be different. City are at home, they are in good form, and the pressure will be different this time. But read between the lines of what Guardiola said. He is showing deep respect for this Arsenal team. He knows how good they are. He knows how dangerous they can be. You do not talk about a team's record of winning 46 out of 49 games unless you genuinely fear them. For Arsenal, the message has to be simple. Win on Wednesday, keep the momentum going, get key players fit and healthy, and then go to the Etihad ready to compete. The title race may have taken a knock after losing to Bournemouth, but it is not over. Can Arsenal handle City at the Etihad with all these injuries piling up? Cole Palmer, the number Arsenal must be aware of. Before we wrap this up, let us talk briefly about Cole Palmer, because even though he plays for Chelsea and not City, the numbers around him right now are worth paying attention to as we approach the business end of the season. Palmer is 23 years old. He is already one of the most dangerous attacking players in the Premier League. This season alone in the league, he has scored 9 goals in 20 appearances. He has taken 45 shots, with 19 of them landing on target. He averages 1.26 key passes per game. His passing accuracy sits at around 84%. For an attacking midfielder who is always involved in creative play, that is a serious level of consistency. In the Champions League this season, he has added 1 goal and 2 assists in just 4 appearances. He is also a massive penalty taker. Earlier in his career, he broke the Premier League record for most penalties scored without ever missing, hitting 12 from 12 at one point. He has since had his first miss, but his penalty record is still extraordinary. On 7th February 2026, he scored a hat-trick against Wolverhampton, with all 3 goals coming in the first half. He was also named the Golden Ball winner at the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup after scoring twice and assisting once in the final against PSG. He was man of the match in both the Conference League final and the Club World Cup final last year. Why does this matter for Arsenal fans? Because if Arsenal are going to compete for the title and go deep in the Champions League, they will eventually face teams with players of this quality. Palmer represents exactly the kind of creative, unpredictable, goal-scoring threat that can hurt any team on any given day. He is a reminder that the Premier League is absolutely stacked with quality. If you were building a team to compete with players like Palmer week after week, would you not want both Saka and Odegaard fit and available every single game? What Arsenal need to do right now. So pulling all of this together, what does Arsenal actually need in the next few days? First, and most importantly, they need to beat Sporting CP on Wednesday night. Get through to the semi-finals. Keep that incredible unbeaten Champions League record going. The Emirates at night in Europe is one of the most electric atmospheres in football right now, and Arsenal need to use that energy. Second, they need their injured players to recover as quickly as possible. Saka and Odegaard are not just good players. They are difference makers, the kind of players who can win you a game by themselves. Getting them back fit and sharp before the City clash and any potential Champions League semi-final is absolutely essential. Third, the players who are available need to step up. This is the moment where squad players become heroes. Whoever Arteta picks on Wednesday night needs to give absolutely everything for those 90 minutes. The players who have been waiting for their chance in big games need to grab this one with both hands. And fourth, the fans need to be loud, proud, and behind the team from first minute to last. The Emirates crowd has been one of the best in Europe this season. That energy matters. Players feel it. The title race is complicated. The injuries are real. But this Arsenal team has shown all season that they are capable of doing something special. The question is whether they can hold it all together at exactly the right moment. Final word from Gooner TV. Look, nobody ever said this was going to be easy. Arsenal's journey this season has been full of highs, full of lows, and full of moments that tested the patience of even the most loyal supporter. But here we are, still in the Champions League, still in the title race, still standing, and 90 minutes away from the semi-finals of the biggest club competition in the world. The injuries to Saka, Odegaard, Timber, Calafiori, and the confirmed absence of Marino are genuinely worrying. Nobody should pretend otherwise. These are big players missing from a massive game. But this Arsenal squad is not the one-man team it was a few years ago. There is depth now. There is belief. There is a manager who knows how to get the best out of what he has. Guardiola is right that the next Premier League game will be different from the cup final. It will be different because Arsenal are not underdogs at home. They are a team that in 49 games this season has only lost 3 times. They are a team that has not been beaten in the Champions League all season. They are a team that has made the Emirates a place visiting teams genuinely do not want to come. The next 10 days could define Arsenal's entire season. Win on Wednesday and reach the semi-finals. Get healthy and then go win at the Etihad. Can they do it? We think they can. But we want to know what you think. Drop your prediction in the comments below. Will Arsenal beat Sporting on Wednesday without Saka and Odegaard? And do you think the squad has enough to get a result against City next weekend? Let us talk about it. This is the Gooner TV community, and these are the conversations we live for. Up the Arsenal.